Alrighty, what's up, guys? I wanted to give you an update on Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of this market. Do not watch this video if you are a bull. Do not. There are plenty of other videos you can watch. No, I'm just kidding. I want to talk about a few things. So, first thing I want to talk about is we're going to start with more of the bearish things, and we'll get a little bit more into the bullish things. You know, VWAP's coming up here, split apart. This is a bit more split apart than it was here. Not that badly. And it's starting to curve down, so a bit more split apart. So a little bit more bearish now than it was back here. We're getting close. I think we could kind of, best case scenario, stay a little bit more bullish, mainly sideways for till the end of the month. Maybe some altcoins will run, and then we're going to see, you know, kind of that sell and may walk away type thing. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. I mean, I don't have no crystal ball here, but that's what it's looking like. So, and the other thing too, you know, if it does play out like this, obviously, you know, we got to talk about the, you know, the possibilities. You know, what could happen here, and you know, if it's like this, if it's something like 2019, there's your 500 weekly moving average. There's your lower low into the end of the year. That's still possible. Not saying it's going to happen. Doesn't really change my, you know, view in this game. Doesn't change my view in this game because I'm DCAing in, you know, for the next probably until January. December, January, you know, as long as this stays into the red here. And I think there's a good shot it will with this VWAP going down. Even if it does come back to the green, I would show you maybe on this chart. Is this the BITGET? Yeah, here we go. It's easy to, wish the Coinbase chart had more data. Coinbase, they weren't around long enough. But see here, good situation. Yeah, just the DCA situation. Even if we do something like this, I mean, say we do, I think with all the leverage in the market and, you know, everything happening in the world, and just the way Bitcoin is now, I don't think it's really possible to just have that sustainable, a straight up rally like that. You know what I mean? People would knock it down at some point. People would knock it down. It is possible, maybe if it acts like gold, but I still don't think that's the most likely scenario here. I think that this VWAP would come down, and we're going to get that red dot, and that's going to mark potentially, I don't think it's going to be like just straight down. I think it's going to be more of a gradual decline. There's your 500 weekly moving average. My estimate of where it would be. This is kind of where we would be looking at 13K. If you do make a lower low, you could easily just come down to 20 potentially at some point, then continue forward into 2024. Sure, maybe, you know, if you don't count the pandemic and just, you know, do like this. But even like that, I mean, if we look at this, you know, kind of correction here, you know, we look at, this was a 53%er. Don't believe that would bring us to a lower low. Oh, yes, it would actually. Yeah, it would. We didn't follow up that much. But if we do come up higher, maybe to 35, it definitely wouldn't at that point, I don't believe. Yeah, it wouldn't at that point. So, yeah, that's the next place you would look at there. Now, let's get into a few of the lower time frames here. You know, shout out to DCF, who shows us one of my live streams. He was saying that the higher we get here, the better it is for the bears, the better it is for the people shorting. Why? Sounds counterintuitive, right? The reason why is because they could ride the shorts down longer when we finally do kind of top out. They're only really screwed unless the bears are only really, I mean, if you've been shorting all the way down here and losing millions of dollar. I'm joking. There were some bad trades on the way up there. Contrary to popular belief, there were some good longs along the way too. I don't always go in one direction, but to be fair. But if you look at, you know, kind of, you know, unless we do something like that, unless we go like that, the bears are still got to say. You know, the bears still got to say in this game. You also are now starting to get another bearish div on the daily here. Now, that's a big one. That's from far apart. I don't know how strong that's going to be. We're also going into kind of a weekend here, so we'll see what happens. Also, the 12-hour, you can kind of see that same bearish div that already confirmed it, and we already came up higher after. It doesn't mean too much to me. A lot of short liquidations around here, 31.4, so that's, you know, kind of what I'm keeping my eye on as a potential to, you know, place to look. Money flow starting to come down in the 2-hour. Hourly money flow starting to come out, but you do have, I don't think, is this a, oh yeah, that actually is a bullish div on the hourly. That could bring us up a bit, and that could bring us up to this technical target right around 31 too. I think there's actually another spiral line there. Also, you're about to get a trigger wave right there in the 30. I believe it's already an ETH, so some trigger waves. If you're a complete degenerate on a Friday night, could be a place to look. Could be a place to look to give a little jump up. Not financial advice, as it says here. And this could be your potential degenerate kind of trade up a little bit on the trigger wave. Would be a little risky. I think any trade on a Friday night, when you're supposed to be playing video games, supposed to be out, with the cool kids, any trade like that is going to be a little bit risky. If we look at Ethereum, a lot of it. Okay, so this is. I still have it drawn out on this chart. Nice. Look at what happened here after this jump up. Look at what split RSIs, and once they finally came down, we're at that point. We're getting close. Once they finally came down, 74%. Now, if you come down 70, that's going to be 600. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying it's possible. And that's where the arrogance of some of these bulls, some of these giant bulls, will finally be put to rest. Will finally be taken out to pasture. Like Charlie Crist took out Ron DeSantis took out Charlie Crist. He said he's taken an old donkey, Charlie Crist. He's taken him out to pasture, kind of like that. Pretty funny. I'm joking. I don't know if this is gonna happen. I'm just saying it's possible. And then that's what we're looking at, potentially right there. Altcoins, I think are going to continue to get pretty hit hard. We could definitely get some of them jumping up a bit. Cardano ETH hitting a major point. I think he got a little bit in you. I think it's going to be kind of like over here with this bullish div back in 19, something of that nature. Come up a bit, but then come back down, make even a lower low potentially, if it's like that. Could be a good little trade. ETH to Cardano. Once mine, I'm still waiting like 10 more days before mine's going to get completely unstaked and free to mess around with on Kraken. I may convert that over to Cardano for a little bit, but I don't know if Bitcoin, if it'll outperform Bitcoin as well. By the time those 10 days is up, a lot could happen too. We could have already seen the majority of the alts move. Our mini altcoin season move up. But yeah, I could see it maybe coming up to 50 or something, potentially. AVAX looks pretty good there with the money flow crossover as well. So that's that. Also, if you look at traditional markets a little bit, we haven't looked at them in a while on this channel. I mean, my guess is that you got maybe a little bit of gas left in the tank, but I'm looking at this point for a potential kind of double top here. Maybe a little bit more. That's what I'm kind of looking at. If we draw a fib level, let's just see here. That area is going to be big. I don't know if we could break through that. Maybe when you get to that area too, could be one more green dot and then another lower red dot, kind of a head and shoulder type thing potentially, at least on the momentum waves here. But on the daily, it looks like we got daily 12-hour. Looks like we got a little bit more, kind of like how Bitcoin looks, so a little bit more. And then sell and may walk away. I think the sell and may walk away is going to be pretty accurate for a lot of markets. I think even gold and silver may see a decent pullback, but I think they'll generally still outperform. I think they'll still generally outperform the NASDAQ and S&P 500. So that's what we're looking at right now. Let's take a quick look at ETH and Bitcoin on the short term. See if it happens. I don't know. It's a Friday night. Don't get mad at me if this is wrong, because it definitely can be. A lot of this move is over. I do think, you're going to get, a little trigger wave in the hourly too. So she's always got a little bit left in her. A lot of times, always got a little bit left in her. Just when you're thinking it's over, always a little bit left. So be careful with that, guys. That's all I got right now. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my premium Discord. Check out my trading course as well. A lot of people have really liked both of those things. Not going to elaborate on them right now. I'm too lazy to. But they are really good products if you're interested. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.